Show. Show. You want to be a dungeon master.
That's great. We're here to help. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Justin. Get in, bitch. We're going shopping. Episode 66 was Shopping 101, where we went over the basics of how to make shopping better in your games. Now, we're going deeper than ever before. Move aside, mole men, because we're even deeper than where mole men live. How do you elevate shopping and TTRPGs to the next level? Let's get into it. But first, using toys from your childhood, make up some interesting magic items.
Okay, you gave me this prompt right before we started, and so when I was a kid, I had this. It was a crash test dummy plane. Okay. So it was a plane that you put it all together. It's all spring loaded, and then you would throw it, and it would soar, and then bump into something, and then and everything would explode apart. So, I'm thinking like some kind of a flying grenade, maybe. Like you throw it out, and it flies into the middle. So it's like, basically, it just boils down to like extra range on some kind of a grenade weapon. But
for sure, or even like a mechanical bird,
right? Yeah,
that just one beak attack and it's over. A dive bomber,
yeah.
Literally. Holy shit. Yeah, dude. That's dope as hell. I didn't have that toy in particular, I will say. It sounds so familiar though, because I remember there being that like
dummy
time
stuff. Yeah,
that crash test dummy became like a character.
Yeah.
Became a thing, like an IP of in and of itself. But I also, we spoke about this a little bit before, but I think of those. You pull the thing and the little fairy just starts spinning around.
Yeah.
That makes me think of a million different ideas. Because it also reminds me of like in a video game like Call of Duty, it was like a grenade, like a sensor grenade that you would throw and it would become a little helicopter and give you a quick snapshot of like nearby enemies. So the two of those together is like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just like this little thing and a little fairy's like, I got it, boss. Yeah, I think they're over there. There's either 3 or there's 6 of them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. Sick. Okay. I also think of when I'm thinking of toys that I had growing up. Stretch Armstrong comes to mind. I just remember having a Stretch Armstrong and thinking that they were sick and always trying to be like, I'm gonna break it.
Those things were so dense. It was just like sand.
If you were
wrapped in
if you were really like swinging them around too, it would. If
it had that really hard
head swung and hit you, it was brutal.
The freaking head was made out of the strongest plastic you could ever think of.
I remember having a toy. It was like a sports kind of themed toy. I don't know if you recall this, but it was like a ball, right? But it was segmented into its parts, similar to how like a basketball or a soccer ball is like segmented into its parts. But it was a little plasticky with cushion on the outside, but you could take the two sides and press it in the middle and it would suction cup down and become like a frisbee. Thick, albeit, but like a frisbee, and then you would throw it, and it would undo and become a ball again.
I saw commercials for that. I did not have one. I do know what you're talking about.
Loved that toy, dude. That was sick. Just like playing catch with that for hours. That and like vortexes.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was very sports minded. I'm realizing.
I was too. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You should see me too. I definitely shopped at like Foot Locker and Champs, and I was wearing a lot of Allen Iverson clothing. The only
it's always
I ever respect.
It's always been GameStop and EB Games for me, baby. Those are my stores at the mall.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped in there, of course.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
multifaceted. I was a nerd, but
The
I also just
GameStop,
like,
they had the demos. I would just go in there and play the demos until my parents came and got me. They're like, "All right, cool, we're
yeah.
leaving now."
See, I
Sad.
loved video game stores at that time. Just
Yeah,
being
those are
able to
good.
rent video games and try them out before
Mhm.
ever committing to anything. Or
Yeah,
sometimes it was like, I don't need to buy this game. I just want to play it a little bit.
yeah. They're
You
definitely
know?
like it takes a lot for me to buy things on Steam for that reason. Like I wish I could rent them and because it's like for me a short game is a 20-hour game. So it'd be like a 20-hour game and you want $30 for it. I'm like, that's a weekend. Like
Yeah.
like that's a
Yeah.
weekend
Especially if
where
it's a game that doesn't have replayability kind of thing
yeah,
or something.
yeah. I mean,
For
like
sure.
Resident Evil I bought is out an outlier in that sense because it's really Resident Evil's already I've already beaten it 4 times.
Yeah.
And I'm probably never going to touch it again. But until Halloween time and then we'll talk. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the the state of I miss the blockbusters. I miss the being able to
I
rent a
know.
game for a weekend and be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna
Yeah.
$5. I'm gonna grab this game. I'm gonna bang it out this weekend, and then then I don't
For
need it
sure.
anymore.
I know exactly what you mean. And it was also just like, yeah, times were just different, man. Walking into a
Yeah,
KB Toys, feeling like the possibilities were endless. You could
yeah.
do anything. The kind of board games that were coming out at that time are still
Hmm.
some of the best. I still think about our Mall Madness
I
99
forgot
kind
about
of
KB Toys. That place was fucking rad.
yeah, dude. So many fun games and different things in there, man. Just always trying to be like, what am I gonna get though? There's so many
Hmm.
options. There's so many interesting
It
things.
was mostly Nerf guns and Legos for me.
I did love Legos until I remember just getting to a point of being like, they're so expensive. I can't do these.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like completely fell off of Legos. Like I
Yeah,
love Legos still to this day. Like
yeah.
that, it's like one of those dumb things that like if last minute my roommate or somebody's like, what should I get you for Christmas? I'm just like, I don't know, Lego thing or some shit. Like I don't fucking care. Anything, boxers
Right.
at this point, I'm like 35. I don't care.
Give me
But
box.
I
Give me
also the
Haynes
last thing
12
I'll
pack.
say, the last thing I'll say about like childhood toys and like
Mhm.
using them for inspiration of magic item ideas. This is a twofold because it's one of those TV shows that was like practically created for merch, but
Mhm,
it's
mhm,
technically a
mhm.
TV show and the toy. But Power Rangers,
Oh yeah.
anything like that Sentai sort of vibes,
Hmm.
the Japanese
I
inspired sort of
actually,
action shows with like
yeah.
the transformations, the Zords, the villains, all of the different things, and like specifically, I've made it before. It's like on our Patreon at some point. You can find it. Megazord armor,
Mm,
where it's meant to be a very powerful magic item. Obviously, it's armor, but it is one of those things. I probably need to go back and change it now that I'm just better at D&D homebrew than I was when I first made it. But it's like, oh, you have to find all the pieces.
right.
It's like it only works if you have all the pieces together.
Hmm.
Or like
Makes for a good
each
like.
part does one thing, but when you get them all together, it does
Then
it's
you
like
can
the extra
do.
boost,
Yeah.
Megazord style. Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Patreon, gang, check it out, dude. The Patreon's there and we're crushing it over there. The magic items are just getting cooler and cooler every single time, and there's more down the pipeline. And as we pivot our infrastructure as so you want to be a DM when it comes to content, the Patreon is getting a boost.
Yeah.
It's getting a lifeline. It's getting an injection of fuel. Trying to make this not sound like drugs or something.
No, it's
Like,
drugs. It's drugs, gang.
it
Try it. You'll
is.
get hooked.
Yeah, that's what one of the D's stands for. Drugs and drugs.
Drugs and drugs.
Okay. Before we get demonetized, let's get into the meat of the
We have to get
episode.
monetized first, and then we get
What do you
demonetized.
mean? We're making money, baby.
We
People are listening to ads on these podcasts. We got a Patreon, gang. Help us out, please.
Please.
Link in the description. Okay, meat of the episode. All jokes aside, shopping 101. In that episode 66, we went over a couple of different things. Just to recap some of that, if you're here now and you're new, you haven't listened to us before, or like you haven't listened to the first shopping episode, you might want to go back and check it out. It's got a lot of the basics. We go over money and loot in a lot of different ways, how much you should give, how much money is worth in your like setting based on your economy. Obviously, you can devalue the entire economy system by over giving loot to a certain degree, right? Like it's, of course, you're like, well, I want to reward the players. And it's the balance of like, you want them to earn the money that they make, and you reward them in that way through magic items and loot and money, while also not making them like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, where they have so much power and money that it becomes a problem. And then they're enemies. Right? So you're trying to walk that line of like,
yeah.
Because if they're so powerful where they can be like, oh, I'm actually just going to buy the entire king's army, fuck off. And then it's like, okay, what are we doing? I've already established that, this magic item costs this much. Now I'm fucked because they can buy 12 of them. Or like, I'm giving them so much loot, not money. But here's the thing. If they sell in these magic items sometimes, it's like, okay, you sold that. That's 10,000 gold. Fuck.
And
if I
then
want to
also,
stay
I mean,
true
there's
to the system I've set up. So that's the thing. We talked about all of that in Shopping 101 of like the consistency that you should maintain. Like, obviously, there's going to be outliers. There's going to be times where maybe you pivot a little bit and you're like, oh, I was being too harsh. I'm going to lay up a little bit. And now that's the new baseline. That's fine with communication and stuff. We also went over like why shopping can be boring, like why it's considered boring. We go over all like a bunch of different ways of how to make it more fun and ways to make it more important, which is we only touch on very briefly at the end of the episode on how and why to make shopping important. And I think that's kind of what we're going to get into a little bit more today. So in Shopping 201, the agenda for today, essentially, what we're going to be setting out to try and achieve is number one, building an impromptu shop. There's going to be times where you might need to just create a shop on the spot. You don't have it planned. It's not in the module, and your player's asking you to go see a blacksmith. You got to make one up. We're going to go over some ways on how to do that. Number two, making a shopkeeper an important NPC. There's going to be times where you either want to or need to make a shopkeeper, the owner of a business, what have you, important. Here's how to do that. Then finally, number three, we're also going to talk about making the shop itself an important place to visit for the party. Various reasons on why you might do that and different ways of how to do that. And we're going to go over all of that. How's that sound?
Sounds great to me, but
hell yeah. What is your opinion on shopping? Bring us up to date. It's been almost 60 episodes since we did this last time. Like, it was episode 66. That's what, 112, 120?
Yeah, 127,
124.
Pretty
much. Yeah.
One.
So like
that one.
22. So it's been a while.
32.
We've talked
I think
about
it's
shopping.
32.
How do you feel about shopping? What is your opinion of it, both as a player and as a DM?
I like it in the general sense. I mean, it's I think it's a fun way to get players to do outside of combat RP. Is really a good thing. It's good for that. I think there are a lot of pitfalls, like you were saying. Another thing of like things to be careful of in the general sense, even sometimes putting the fact that this item is out there. Bear in mind that not all players are lawful good players. Some people are going to go, okay, cool. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. And then leave and then come back at night and try to steal it. So bear that in mind.
So true. So true. Really quick, what would you do if that were the case? I think that if I may, my thinking is twofold. Number one, you got to let them have it once in a while.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
got it.
That's true.
Even if
Absolutely,
you put
that's true.
roadblocks, I
Yeah.
think with the understanding that like this player's not being a dickhead. They're just doing it every once in a while because they're the rogue of the party and their
Mhm.
character's an asshole, but the player's not being an asshole. All the
Right.
other
Yeah,
PCs
yeah,
are
yeah.
fine with it. Like if above board we're cool with them stealing the magic item from the shop every once in a while, then like in game, let them have it once in a while. And then
Yeah.
once in a while, conversely, kick their ass about it. Like, oh, you tried to
Yeah.
steal from me?
Hmm.
Not up in here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every
Yeah.
once in a
I
while, you could
mean,
be like, psych, this place is guarded by ghosts at night. 30
right.
of them. They're called the Triumvirate.
Yeah.
They've been guarding
Yeah,
this
yeah,
place for
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
generations. Just a bunch of dwarven ghost blacksmiths come out of the fucking
yeah.
woodwork. Just like, you thought you'd steal from us, would you?
Mhm.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, as a player, I enjoy it because especially when you and I are playing together, I don't necessarily know what magic items I want to have, and you provide me with a list of things like that sound cool. And
Mm-hmm.
as you know, as a DM, it's fun looking them up, but it's also, it's I like it for the opportunities that it presents for both exposition and also leveling up your party.
Yeah, for sure. It's so nice. It's just a really nice way, especially when you're doing, I find milestone leveling. Magic
Mhm.
items can be like the secret sauce to kind of pushing off that level up
Right, right,
by
right,
being
right.
like, cool paints, though. Pretty cool paints that you can do. You could paint a door.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
See you next week. Take your goodie bag and get the fuck out. Leave my wedding now with your centerpiece in hand. No. Um, so Uh, I love shopping. I think it's a lot
Yeah,
of fun. There are times where I've recognized, like looking back, if I'm being a little harsh on myself, a little critical, I'll definitely like. There are times where I don't need to like role play a shopping scene, but I like doing it so much. Like I love playing them because I like trying to make all the shops feel unique in different ways, and
hmm,
I have so much fun with it. Like anytime I'm creating a city, it's like one of my must-haves is like two shops that make this city that are like unique to this city. You know
hmm,
what I mean? And they
hmm.
can be like normal shops. Like a blacksmith is like, yeah, a dime a dozen, but what makes this blacksmith unique or in this shop and like how
Right.
they do things or whatever. So I really enjoy that from the DM's perspective. And then as a player, because I'm so infrequently a player, I like seeing how other DMs do it. And it's like sometimes it's like most of the time if I'm getting the chance to play these days, with the exception of Pathfinder, which is very different because there's just so many items. So it's truly like most of the times it's, hey, you have this much gold, open the compendium and shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
literally limitless. And then there are other times where I'm in an actual play or something where we don't have time for a shopping episode.
Right.
You know what I mean? When we did Sphinx City, I made it a point. It was like, no, you guys are going shopping. I want to show you the gunsmith.
Right.
I want to show you. Like I worked in what's her face's character, our friend Megan's character,
Hmm.
Mar, into the whole thing as well. Like
Yeah.
it was just so fun to have interesting shops and cool places to visit. Because it's like when you're visiting, oh, I'm going to London for the first time ever. What are you gonna do? You're gonna visit some fucking shops.
Right.
You're gonna come back and go, oh, I went to some cool shops. Like it's like it's such a big part of culture. Like
Right.
whether you're down for capitalism or not, shopping and like the exchange of goods and services is as old as time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To a
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's like that's fun. And so how you're doing that based on your setting and this even like the setting on a broad scale, like the world's building to like
Hmm.
the scale of just that town or that district even or neighborhood or whatever. I love that shit. I love
Hmm.
doing all of it. So sometimes though, I come up with this city. I'm like, okay, in this borough, this district of Sphinx City, I have 10 locations listed. But
Mhm.
then the player hits me with, hey, I want to do some crafting. Is there a junkyard? Is there a dump? And I go, I didn't put a, I mean, like, it's like, number one, yes, there's a dump in Sphinx City because of course there is.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, do I have it written down? Do I know who runs it? Do I know is it private? Is it state? Like, I don't know anything about it. I have to just like in the moment because
Mhm.
there's like what I'm willing to do in terms of like canon events of like, oh, now I have to live by what I'm saying for the rest of my life. It's like,
Right.
luckily, I'm playing with cool people who are understanding where I can be like, hey, for now, the junkyard's just called the junkyard. And it's, you know what I mean? It's just the
Right.
Sphinx City dump. And it's run by a, a guy named Dirtbag.
Yeah.
And he's a
Sounds
groundhog.
sounds
And then
like
there's a Minotaur named Chuck.
yeah,
Chuck and Dirtbag.
Chuck and Dirtbag.
And
Yeah.
that I think I got them from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm.
That's not their full names. It's something else. It's like something Chuck and Woodchuck. Is it Woodchuck and Dirtbag? It doesn't matter. We're getting off topic. But you have to make shops sometimes, right?
Yeah.
That happens.
Mm-hmm.
Has this ever happened to you? Where you're a DM, your players go, hey, is it possible for me to find a shop that sells da 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 da? Or can I find somebody who we can hire to
Yeah.
do X, Y, and
When
Z?
you
And you're like, oh, I don't. I pre-plan? No, I don't. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
Yeah. 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 100%. Sometimes it's right after a level up or something like that. But honestly, as a pantser of type of DM, I
yeah,
generally I'll have a list of items. I will make the shop up on the spot
yeah.
unless it's an important thing. It is very much a cool. I've got a dude and he has a hat and then every now and then he'll go, "Oh, let me go get my manager," and he'll run back and then take the hat off and switch it with another hat and come back out
Mhm.
as the manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're just like, yes.
the silly little guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, perfect. That actually plays perfectly into what we're gonna do for this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because when that happens, your player asks you, because I have a player
Mhm.
also in one of my home games where he's very good about he is enjoying something about D&D that I love that you don't have to because of the way that spell component pouches work and stuff, where you don't
Right.
have to necessarily find back guano for fireball,
Right, right, right.
but he likes doing that. So he's
Mhm.
like, I need a marble statue of a little guy for this next spell. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I
Right.
need 2 silver rings for this spell. Like, and
Mhm.
he's like, sometimes will ask me to shop for the most random fucking thing where I'm like, you need grave dirt? Okay. Well, I guess this place would have a cemetery. Where would it be? And you know, it's like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah, yeah,
like it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
Because it gives you an opportunity to sometimes you're gonna be like, "Oof, I don't know.
It just wouldn't
Here's
make
what you do.
yeah.
Here's what you do. You're going to ask yourself a bunch of questions, but here's just like 4 quick ones that I thought of when I was coming up with this
Mhm.
idea of like the things I think of when
Mhm.
somebody asks me that question. Is there a really good reason that this place wouldn't have this thing? Like a really good reason. Is there a
Right.
really good reason for me to say
Right.
no and not just say, yeah, you can find incense?
Right. Right, right,
Right?
right.
Like, because there might be. I don't want to discount the idea that like every place is going to have every item because
Yeah.
like I'm, you know me, I'm very big on the side of like not being an asshole and just being like, dude, it's incense. Give him the fucking incense. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You're
Right.
fine. You're the DM. At any moment, you can be like, okay, here's some incense for you. The BBG has mountains of incense. They make their
Yeah.
own incense, and it's the
Yeah.
best incense. And you can just say that because you're the deity of this
Yeah,
creation.
you're
So it's like, who
right, right,
cares?
right.
But there might be a genuine story based immersive reason that they're like the specific thing they're asking for isn't here, right?
Mhm.
Like there could be a reason. I've done that before where like this town has been bled dry of all their healing potions for one reason or another.
Oh,
You guys have already
For
bought them out of stock,
one
or
reason or another, we bought all of them. And
it's
it's been
usually
a
that.
day. It's been
It's
a
usually
day.
that. But even when I'm deciding how many they have, it's
Right.
sometimes based on a series of things of like they don't have an unlimited amount because times are tough or whatever.
Right.
So that's the first question is just like, is there a really good reason I wouldn't let them have this item? Because she probably are going to, but maybe there's a good reason that you can be a little heavy-handed about it.
Right.
Second question, is it a simple thing like spell components or blacksmith, or is it something crazy rare? So now you're starting to just
Yeah.
like
What are we shopping
categorize it
for?
on a level, on a
Yeah.
layer of like a ranking system, if you will, of like how intense is the thing that they're asking me for, because that's going to help to inform further decisions that you make.
Hmm.
For example, if they're genuinely like, "Hey, I'm a wizard. We're passing through town. Hey, I just need to get some more parchment and ink and the stuff that I need to like make more spells in my book."
Right.
The next question plays into why it's important to know what they're specifically asking for and if it's very rare or a very simple item and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Third question, do you need to have a role play scene for this exchange? It's a hard question to ask. I myself as somebody who loves to perform and play funny voices and characters,
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
love my favorite thing about D&D is being an NPC. You know what I mean? Is being in the scenes. I think that's
Right.
my strongest suit. Is like my is like
Right.
my
Yeah. Yeah.
one of my
Yeah.
stronger skills as a DM is like being NPCs and like getting into characters and stuff and like talking with players and
Hmm.
making them laugh and stuff. That's like where I'm best. So I fall into the side of being like, yeah, let's do it. You need wizard stuff. Here's a wizard store, and we'll come up with one. But realistically, you have to ask yourself, like, do we actually need this scene? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Hey, I just need to sell a bunch of extra arrows. Now that I'm not using a bow anymore, I have all these fucking arrows. No one in our group uses them. I'm just gonna
Hmm.
sell them. Oh, cool. Do we need a scene for that? No. But
Right.
if you're worried about that and you're like, I don't want to like take away something from the players, agency, and yada yada
I
yada,
generally ask.
just ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
just ask. Do you want to role play that scene? Boom, done. Fucking so easy, dude. And a
Mm.
lot of times players will even offer up. I mean, it happens at our home games at least,
Yeah.
uh, where they'll say something like, "We don't need to RP this, but I would like to X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I don't want to RP it. I need to buy this, and this. If I could just
Yeah.
mark that off my sheet, no
And
problem."
that's not a cop out. That's we have limited amount of time together, and I'd rather spend it on other RP stuff than
Than
a
me
shop.
like going through Google forums and being like, okay,
Right.
how much is +1 plate armor again?
Right.
Whoa, it's saying it could be anywhere between this that many thousand and that many tens of thousand. Okay, I guess I'll do somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Like the amount of time that
Yeah.
that takes. That's some shopping, and I even did it with my other home game too, where it's like when it comes to like selling things,
Hmm.
I always tell them like it's straight up like, are you gonna haggle? If yes, like it's honor system, so I don't need to see you roll dice or anything. So it's just like
Right.
roll your d20, roll a persuasion check, and then give me a list of what you're selling,
Yeah.
and I'll come back with an itemized. Bop, 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 bop. Here's how much everything is. Here's how much the total is. Your persuasion check means that it would have been this much, but they're gonna offer you this much. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it all works out so easy and fine, and it just saves us so much time. The fourth and final question that I have listed on here, and not that there aren't other questions you can ask yourselves, is do you think this shop could come up again? And do you
That's an
want,
important
or,
one.
and the kind of secondary one is, do you want it to?
Right.
Because there's sometimes you're like, this shop's never going to come up again. And then you can be way more lax about how you set up this impromptu shop. It can just be
Yeah.
Roger, Bob, Tim, like first name you think of. What I usually do just to get a laugh,
This
this is
gets
like
the
a
Taylor
inside,
stamp of approval.
yeah, inside ballpark, like how the sausage is made. One of my big tricks for like quick names is I
Hmm.
think of a name that exists, like kind of a longer one, multiple syllables, Timothy,
Hmm.
Jonathan, something like that.
Hmm.
Change one letter, usually the first letter. Jonathan becomes Bonathan. And it's just like a little funnier. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it just adds a little spice. You just go, oh yeah, Bimothy. And that's
Mhm.
it. And it's just like a quick little trick to make it so that it's not just Bob unless I know that you have I forget the character's name. You have an NPC who shows up in every setting.
Oh,
Like
Tony. Yeah, yeah,
Tony,
yeah.
that's what it was.
Tony, yeah.
But like uh unless it's you have a reason that it's going to be Tony every time, which in your case it makes sense. But like you don't want unless you know what I mean saying like
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
there
yeah.
is the through line, you don't want it to literally just be like I don't know Bob again. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
the fact that you're like shrugging your shoulders, you don't give a shit what this NPC is called. Why are we even having a scene? So
Right.
it's like, yeah. Um, and but there are going to be other times where it's like, you know what? It does make sense that there's a dump in Sphinx City, and people are
Mhm.
probably going to come here again. And there are could be reasons. Let me put a little more time into this, and I'll come
Yeah.
back to it, and I'll actually flesh things out. Now, if you decide that you want to shop for the PC to go to and have a scene, then
Mhm.
here's some easy tips and tricks to do it quickly in the moment. So if after asking all these questions, you're like, okay, we're going to make a shop really quick. Here's the steps that I usually take. Taylor, you tell me where you differ or are similar or whatever. The first thing I do is using what the player asked for as inspiration. What
Mhm.
does this shop offer? What kind of shop is it?
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Mhm.
I just use it's just a yes and. So it's like, oh, you need armor? It's a blacksmith. Oh, you need food? It's a grocer. Oh, you
Yeah.
need it? It's a magic shop,
Yeah,
right? Like it's
100%.
so easy to
100%.
just
Yeah.
immediately like word association.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, you're looking for a ranger? Here's a rangers guild. I don't know. Like done. So easy. Um, you're selling artwork. Here's a gallery, I guess, or a museum. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right. Like it's just like immediately associating, and then you can go as specific or as, whatever. Like, oh, I'm looking for a really fine, amazing crafts. I'm looking for the best craftsman who does armor specifically. Okay,
Mhm.
that helps me even more because then I could be like, maybe you go to like a shitty place because then it's just like, yeah, I don't know. So the first question, I'm bouncing off of what they're saying. It's an
Yeah.
immediate ricochet back.
Yep, yep, yep.
Is it products? Is it services? Is it both? Maybe a special trait about those things, about the products that they're offering. And it all depends on what the player asks. If the player asks for something really specific, then my yes and to like, oh, you're looking for the best blacksmith? Here you go. Boom,
Right.
boom. And it's like, now I can be a little more specific. This guy's work is that
Mhm.
much better. This isn't common work. This isn't common materials. This isn't, maybe there's magic and laid into the armor. Like I'm already starting to like think about it more, right?
Yeah.
Um, then number two, who runs it? Not necessarily who owns it.
Yeah, yeah,
Just I
yeah.
need
Who's
at
in the
least
shop?
one NPC to
Yeah.
interact with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it could be anything. It could be the owner. A lot of times I do that because it's just easier, frankly, but
Mhm.
you don't have to. When I first started, anytime I would make a shop, man, I was like any tavern, it was like, here's the barmaid, here's the bartender, here's the cook, and I was like, bro, you don't need all that. You don't need all that. You need one NPC for them to actually interact with, and that's kind of it. I usually just do sometimes I'll have a tab open of fantasy name generator, not even
Mhm.
for the names all the time. Sometimes I'll use them, but not all the time for like random NPCs that I'm not planning on revisiting. But the reason I use it is because when you have fantasy name generator up under the D&D um like tab, if you will, it has little tiny pictures, buttons that you can click of all the different species in D&D.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it just is a really nice visual, presentation of all the different species that you could choose from. And so gives me a really quick glance at that and go, oh, okay, this is a Harangon who runs this place. So I usually start with like a species, and then personality. Are they
Mhm.
nice? Are they, which for me is like genuinely through the voice is like, what
Yeah,
kind of
this
voice am I
is
going to do?
100% where you pick the voice.
All right, he sounds like this. And that's going to incorporate a lot of what his personality's like.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then I might give him a quirk like a, mm-hmm,
Mhm.
um, Like a little, yeah, exactly. And so those types of things
I'd
that all
say
run
more, but I don't want to get in
comes in.
trouble. Mhm.
Yep. And that's number two. Number three, when it comes to the shop itself, come up with about 3 words to describe the shop based on the setting of where the shop is found, both the world and the local geography.
Mhm.
Um, and then be sure to make one of those words at least kind of random or interesting to make it feel unique than every other blacksmith shop. So it's one story. It's made of wood. It smells of flowers. Like, boom, baby.
Yeah.
There's the fucking blacksmith shop. Why does it smell like flowers, dude? I don't know. I'll find it in the
Prestidigitation
moment.
in the chimney to get rid of the soot smell.
That's probably a way better reason. That's a pragmatic as hell reason for it to smell like flowers. My brain is so bonkers. I was like, no, dude, they're metal flowers. They just figured out a way to make artificial flowers that smell.
Smell like roses. Yeah,
Some
that's
metal bouquet.
impressive. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
impressive. That leads to like weird bad guy vibes almost of
Yeah,
or
dude.
like a
Concrete
tuxedo
trees.
or a tuxedo mask type of situation. The a
The
metal
metal,
flower.
yeah, the
Ding.
rose like
Yeah,
actually stabs and pierces. Hell yeah, dude.
yeah.
And it's the whole thing is run by the anti-Lorax
Hmm.
because he's trying to get rid of the trees.
Right. That's
Because
right.
pollen, because fuck pollen. I speak for the allergies.
I speak. Yes,
I
I
wrote a
speak.
poem like that in college.
That's so funny. The
It's called
anti-Lorax.
I am the anti-Lorax. I speak for the allergies. um so now let's go through an example. I'm going to put
Sure.
exactly what we just did into practice.
Okay.
Taylor, you're going to need to be my player for this.
Sure.
You're my beautiful assistant up on stage as I do this magic trick. Thank you. Can I have you please, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else also, non-binary beauties? Joining me today is my lovely assistant, Taylor. Taylor, would you please roll a d12 for the audience?
That is an 11.
An 11, which would be on this list because you'll notice I forgot monk. So on this list, an 11 is wizard. You are a wizard. Now please roll a d4 to see where you are,
Okay.
Mr. Wizard Assistant.
Ooh.
Remember,
Okay.
gang, we have a YouTube channel and
Sure.
all of our podcast episodes have video now.
Ooh.
Woo!
That's a 2. A
Okay, you're in
2.
Sphinx City. You're a wizard in Sphinx City.
Yeah.
This is going to help both of us because now you have a better idea. You obviously know Sphinx City as Taylor, part of the creators. But also it's going to help you visualize this character that you're like instantly thinking of. So you're a wizard from Sphinx City. Modern setting, magical. We get it. New York, but with magic.
Right.
I'm the GM. Ask me for something that you think that you would ask for as that kind of character. You can be as specific or as vague as
Uh,
you would like. And I'm going
I
to, on the spot,
want.
without looking at my massive document of over 60 different locations of Sphinx City, because chances are you might ask for something that I already have a location for.
Yeah.
But let's pretend like,
Yeah. I want a better staff that gives me +1 to spells or any kind of bonus to my spellcasting modifier and or additional fun spells that might be preloaded in it.
okay, you're looking for a wizard staff that has spellcasting,
Yes.
is the long and short of
Yeah,
it.
like a upgrade for my weapon.
Okay. I genuinely, the funny thing is, I already know of a location in Sphinx City that this actually would already go down, and that would be FAO Gnomes. But
Okay,
that's like
yeah.
one that's already written down. I already have that. It's based on FAO Schwartz, the famous toy store in New York City. And the way that I have it set up in our game is when you go into it, it's just a toy store on the front. But then if you like walk in and you're like, I'm looking for a weapon, they'll be
Mm.
like, oh, you're looking for a weapon? Follow me. Don't look over here, kids. Get into an elevator and you go down instead of up. And then
Mm.
it's like the Matrix warehouse of weapons, just like
That's great.
all these magical weapons and shit. But for this, okay, we're in Sphinx City. You're looking for a wizard's staff.
And
Um,
I'm banned from FAO gnomes
you're
because I
banned from FAO
cast.
gnomes, never allowed again. Are
Mhm.
you looking for uh 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 something that's already made, or are you looking, is this something that is like we're going to make it, like it's something
I'm
that your
looking
player is
for
leveling
something
up
out of the box.
into?
Looking for
Okay, out of the
something
box,
usable
understood,
out of the box.
got it. um Wood or metal?
Either.
Okay, the material doesn't necessarily matter as much, got it. In this case, I could go in trillions of directions
Hmm.
because it really is like there's ways to do this in a way of like, oh, you have to go down to Sewer City and go to one of the shops there. You need to exchange some money for shitcoin. You need to buy it from like
Naturally.
not a smuggler, but like kind of a yeah, like a smuggler a little bit. Like
Hmm.
somebody who like stole it from somebody. It fell off the back of a truck, guy.
A
Listen, don't even
fence. You
worry
got to
about
find
it.
a fence.
Why are you asking so many fucking questions, dude? You want this goddamn staff or not? I'm telling you, it's got 10 charges. It's got 10 charges. Um,
Son of a
but
bitch.
I'm also thinking of you've asked me for this thing. So it's a magic shop. The magic shop is going to be how like money. Where are we at with like finances? Are we looking for something very expensive and rare and powerful, or like are we kind of like what
Um,
level, give or take, are we at?
10.
Okay.
Nothing super overpowered. Not like looking for something super overpowered, but also I need something to keep up with the fighter who's got a +1 rapier and
Mm-hmm.
absolutely killing shit.
No doubt. In that case, I would recommend um a place kind of in the middle of the city somewhere, maybe like the Chronomancy district or even like Bard's Way, um Minotaur West or Gnomewich Village, any of those
Mhm.
neighborhoods. And I would come up with a shop where it is a magical shop. They do have um not just staffs, they would have other things in addition to that. But I
Mhm.
think I would make it, my first thought is to make it incredibly kitschy.
Okay.
Like almost like the most stereotypical wizard store you could think
Hmm.
of.
That's as soon as you said kitschy, that's where my brain went.
Yeah, so
The
like
crystal shop.
you walk in and it's like the person who greets you is wearing like a cone hat with stars on it and a
Hmm.
big billowing blue velvet cape, and they're like,
Whoa.
hello, welcome to
Yes.
Spells Are Us, where all your wizarding needs will be met. Oh, a staff, of course. Please follow me. Please stand on this teleportation circle. It will take you to the fourth floor. That is where the staffs are. Instead of elevators, it's just a
Yep.
series of teleportation circles that just
Mhm.
go, just move you up a floor. Just people waiting in line. Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's horribly inefficient when it comes to magical spell components and stuff like that. But it's a big corporation, so I mean they can really just eat the cost when it comes to that.
Exactly, exactly. And once
They
it's
make
in,
all their
it's
money
kind of
on markup.
in, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
then it's
yeah.
just upkeep. So as you can see, using what we know about our setting, using what we know about wizards and what have you, pretty easy to come up with a magic shot pretty quickly. I could
Yep.
say, oh, a elf is running it. I could easily just fall on one of the like main species, if you will, um, and then just call him Sonathan.
Sonathan. It's sticking with the Onathans.
I like it. It's funny. It makes me laugh.
It's cool.
So next up, making a shopkeeper important. So first, why would we want to make a shopkeeper important?
If it's going to be a recurring person, you would want to keep them, uh make them somewhat important, somewhat memorable. Um Also, if it winds up being like one of, like, if you like the hub city, one of the shops in the hub city,
Yeah.
you, that would make kind of sense for them to be quasi important again, just for exposition purposes.
No doubt.
Um,
Because it's, yeah, when you have, you'll notice repetition comes up a lot in this
mhm,
whole lesson that we're talking about when it comes to the importance of either the NPC or the shop itself. Because the more they go there, the importance will come.
right,
Sometimes the importance starts. It's, oh, my dad owns this blacksmith shop, like with Fellis's character. Then it's
right,
like, yeah, then the NPC is already important from the jump, you know?
right.
Sometimes it's, yeah, we keep running into this shop over and over again and seeing the same clerk. Eventually we like that clerk. Sometimes
Mhm,
it's they become important for no other reason than they have a funny voice and we like talking to them. I made a taxidermy shop for no fucking reason, gave the guy a Christopher Walken impression.
mhm.
Boom, I'm fucked. You're gonna
Yeah,
find
it worked.
reasons to bring the
Right.
taxidermy shop back.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
so
Guys, we
that's
don't
like,
need to be in Waterdeep anymore. We need to
I
be in
know.
Neverwinter. But the guys in Waterdeep, we have to go keep with the
Lesson. I have you, dragon. Stuffed it. Stuffed it with cotton. The eyeballs, they don't look great. I don't know. I can't do it. But other reasons you might want to make an NPC, a shopkeeper, important is like it's a good way to have there be just more stakes. When the town gets destroyed, if they like the shopkeepers, if they know the shopkeepers, the citizens, then the
Mhm,
stakes are higher. They're more involved. It also relates to immersion in that way of like, like you create relationships. It makes sense
mhm.
that you would, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
build a
yeah.
relationship over time when you have that repetition. Also, as a DM, the reason you want your NPCs to be important and maybe have there be repetition and have there be recurring characters is because they're just straight up, they're easier to keep track of.
Mhm.
You can get more into character also because of
Yeah.
that repetition, because it gives you the ability to be like, oh, I've played this character so many times that I'm starting to think about like truly what are their motivations. Like
Mhm.
the in Sphinx City, I've played Trinculo so many times that like I know Trinculo at this point.
Right.
I feel so confident about like what Trinculo would do in any given scenario. Same thing
Mhm.
with like from Sword Coast Q, like Ian.
Yeah.
He's not a shopkeeper specifically. He's a husband of one of the PCs, but like still, like I know that dude inside and out. Like I know what he
Yeah.
would think. um, so sometimes, and we already mentioned, you don't even mean for the shopkeeper to be important. It just ends up happening. So like then you can use it to your advantage in different ways, like having the stakes be a little bit higher. Maybe,
Mhm.
oh, you guys really love this guy. Maybe he's a backstabber. I don't know. Don't do that all the time.
No,
You
no,
get
no.
one
Don't
per
do that.
campaign. You get one good backstab per campaign,
Yeah.
maybe two if it's like a 5-year campaign.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
After that, don't do it too much because eventually, like when the players start insight checking every fucking NPC,
It
that's when
does
you know
get
you
tedious.
either they're assholes or you overdid it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Either
It
they're
does.
like metagaming in a weird way where I don't like that. Sometimes it's
Right.
like, no, just because you met a new person doesn't mean you're instantly like, who are you? What's your deal, dude? Tell me everything. You lying to me, boy? It's like, no, dude, what? That's too much. um, so what makes any NPC important, whether it's a shopkeeper or not? And to me, when I think of importance, obviously there's like so many ways
Mhm.
to think about what that really means. But I think of like connections to the player characters, connections to the plot, the BBEG, or some combination.
Mhm.
some plot to the backbone of this story, whether that's the players, the plot, the villain, the conflict, whatever it is, the world, the setting,
Yeah.
or something. Like
Yeah.
it has some kind of connection to the most important things of our story.
Hmm.
And so then the question is, how do we create those connections? Sometimes, like I mentioned, it happens on really early on. The PC, it's like part of backstories and shit like that,
Right,
right?
right,
Like the
right.
PC is from this small town. So it makes sense, maybe, that they know this shopkeeper. They have a relationship already. That already helps them. Um, Maybe the players are part of guilds. Boom. That's different connections to different shops and
Hmm.
shopkeepers. Maybe the backstories and during session zeros, they decided, hey, I want to be from this town, or I want to explore. Like I have a player in one game that's like, I want to get into tinkering more. It's not necessarily that he knows all the all the tinkerers and little
Right.
gizmos and gadgets around each town, but they would like to explore that.
Hmm.
Okay, I got to put a little
There's
time
a
into that.
Yeah, there's a tinker in town. There's somebody who knows a little bit, and they're not going to be maybe a master craftsman person,
No, but
but
it's also a
they'll
cheat code for me for like pushing things in certain directions.
right. I gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's like I know that he's gonna ask for that at
Hmm.
some point. He's gonna ask for, hey, is there any tinkering stuff in this town?
So
Hey, is there
glad you
any? He's
asked.
also a cleric, so he's gonna be like, is there any temples? And it's always such an easy way to be like, yeah, there is temples. Which temple? And then I can go, okay, in the plot, I eventually want to work the Raven Queen in. Okay, there's a temple of the Raven Queen. Or
Right.
oh, eventually like Umberly comes up in the Sword Coast Q. So you bet Umberly showed up in Mornbryn Shield.
Yeah.
So that it all alluded to chapter 7. Like I was laying Umberly fucking shit from the get-go, dude. Like it was
Hmm.
beautiful. The foreshadowing is so fun.
You know what's crazy though? In Baldur's Gate, they do the same shit. They're like almost the exact same shit. There's on one of the docks right after you crash in the Nautiloid.
Mhm.
There's like a poem to the bitch queen on one of the
I went. I
docks.
You go to her. They have a temple to her that you can go to in Baldur's Gate when
Okay.
you get there. I know you haven't been to the third arc,
Hmm.
but at that part you get to see like a statue of her and everything. It's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Uh, but because I love Umberly so much. But there's other ways to create those connections as well. Like for example, does the plot revolve around something that would cross paths with a shopkeep? Like, for example, MacGuffins that may need a
Yeah.
craftsman. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, we need to, I don't know, we need to unlock a god that's been banished. So, what we need is a divine key. That means we need to find a divine craftsman who's able to craft this all ultra powerful god key
Hmm.
to break a god out of a prison. Then your whole shtick is around craftsmen and crafts
Right.
shit. So it's like, yeah, there's going to be a shopkeep involved. The easy way to make a shopkeeper important is to
Right.
involve them right into the plot because
Yeah.
it's based around MacGuffins anyway. Also, just like, yeah, any legendary magic items in general, the idea of like crafting things being an important step in the player's process, like it just becomes an important thing. I mean, especially later in levels, we're playing with a pretty small party. There's only 3 of you guys at this point, so it's like magic potions are really important.
Yeah.
Shopping has always been like an important part of the thing, and playing for 5 years, even though we've bounced around like 6 different cities and a ton of different, we've gone to 3 different planes of existence, if not 4, and
Four.
nonetheless, a lot of recurring NPCs.
Hmm.
A lot of recurring NPCs, and it makes it so nice and easy and
Yeah.
fast and like efficient, you know? Um,
Because
you guys
and it
know what the
really
deal is.
does, yeah, it really does help with the efficiency and speed of the RP stuff. Because even once you get to know the characters and stuff, you can what would normally be like a hey, we don't have to RP this becomes now, hey, I'm gonna go talk to XYZ and buy something.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Um, and The other thing is, does the campaign either stay stationary or does it return back to this location a lot? And that just references the repetition
Mm-hmm.
thing again. Just the idea
Mm-hmm.
that, like, well, if you're constantly going to be coming back to Waterdeep, or if the whole setting takes place in Sphinx City, for example, like that was one of the beauties of Sphinx City.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of doing an entire campaign in one city, and
Yeah.
most of the PCs are locals of that city. Like
Mm-hmm.
even the people who are like, yeah, I moved here from like whatever your fantasy version of Wisconsin is to be an
Right.
actor and it failed. And now I'm this, blah, blah, blah. It's still like, cool, you've been here for 2 years. You kind of know the shit. You may not know it as well as the local, of course. You're not going to know every pizza place, but you know a lot. So that it's
Mm-hmm.
like Sphinx City was beautiful for that. I loved playing around with that idea of like familiarity. It was so nice. What an easy way to cut through some bullshit where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta find it. I gotta talk to an NPC to figure out what the place is called. Like it's like,
Right.
no, no, no. You guys know where shit is. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the public transportation of it all, of being able to just like hand wave
Yeah.
traveling and just being
Yeah.
like, yeah, you get there. So next up, making the shop important. So instead of focusing on the NPC,
Mm-hmm.
now we're focusing on the shop itself. Sometimes that shop, it's been stated over and over, which is ironic because we're talking about repetition. Sometimes it becomes important just to the players just because of that repetition.
Yeah.
Ways we can use that. We referenced some with the NPC, with the shop. How can we make that repetition? Oh, this shop that I wasn't intending on being this important is now very important. One of the things is you can heighten the stakes by putting the shop in jeopardy. Oh
Yeah.
no, the shop's getting robbed. Oh no, a gangster loan shark came in and the shopkeep owes them money. They're threatening to burn the place down if they don't pay up by this date. Da 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 da. Boom. Side quest,
Mm-hmm.
side mission. So fun.
Yeah.
Because they care about the shop, you're using it to your advantage as a storyteller. Very fun. You could also reveal a deep secret about the shop that changes things, maybe for the
Spicy.
better, maybe for the worse.
Mm-hmm.
Secrets. Just kind of some kind of deep lore. Or hey, work the shop into the plot.
Yeah.
Maybe the location is important because of geography or the ley lines or just
It's got a
its
basement that's
history.
hooked to the palace or something.
Yeah, secret pathways.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So sometimes we want a shop to be important before the players even get there.
Mm-hmm.
Not this wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, okay, the players are going to be their backstories are all super connected and therefore I'm inventing this story. No, sometimes it's just this shop is going to be important.
Mm-hmm.
There's several different reasons. One of them is just because we're selfish and we came up with a cool idea and we're like, dude, this idea fucking rips,
So
dude.
cool.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
work this damn shop into the
Hey,
fucking
can I buy
game
it? Yeah,
now.
I have the exact shop for you. Can I buy it? Yep. Same shop. It's all
Yeah.
it's all there. It's all right there.
And the second one is like sometimes whether it's a module or your home written thing or whatever,
Mhm.
sometimes there's something or someone important in the shop. Like the
Yeah.
shop is already part of the plot. It's going to be a stopping point that they will make along the way. For example, they need this special key and it's sold at this old antique store. Eventually, they're going to go to that old antique store. So it's already important to the plot. The third mentioned already, but it could be connected to a player character in some kind of way. Now, that's the why
Mhm.
we would want a shop to be important beforehand. How do we make that shop important beforehand? One thing I think is okay, the party comes in to my setting, Sphinx City. We'll stay with Sphinx City.
Mhm.
None of your characters, based on your backstories or anything like that, have necessarily like a tie-in to, let's just say, um, for example, I know that there's a very fancy bag, like handbags, like purses and bags and stuff, and wristwatches called Mikhail Kors on the
Okay.
Upper East Side of Sphinx City. It's run by mermaids. When you walk in, there's a platform, almost like a plank kind of boardwalk, but it's of course not wood. It's like beautiful marble or some shit.
Hmm.
The rest of the floor is just water, and mermaids are the ones helping you. It's just like a gimmick. It's just to make the
Yeah, yeah,
shop
yeah.
more unique. But the main designer is a merman kind of thing, and that's kind of part of it. Maybe I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, that shop in particular. Let's say you guys aren't connected to that shop, right? You came in with your character. Chances are your character doesn't give a shit about a fancy $300 bag.
Right.
How do I make your characters care about this place and want to check it out? Even just to check, all I need is you to walk in the store and like ask some questions. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's a bunch of different ways we can do that. One of them is if you have enough NPCs mention a location, the players are going to pick up on the fact that it's important. Some of that
Yeah.
in like a not a meta game in a bad way, but like a little bit of like helping the DM out and being like, "Oh, I see
Right.
your plot hook, buddy."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
The
yeah,
other
yeah.
thing is like I always find like reverse psychology kind of vibes of like, especially if you have like an NPC who's like, "Don't go to this place, man. It's so dangerous there." Or you have them be like, just like some sketchy information about a
Hmm.
place. Yo, that Mikhail Kors, man. I don't know, man. I think it's a front. Just like a couple NPCs mentioning it, you have it like, oh, I'm making a little newspaper document for the players so that they can feel like, oh, we're seeing the newspaper of Sphinx City. I include a little ad for Mikhail Kors. Just like constantly hitting them. It's subliminal messaging at a certain
Yeah.
point, right? Where like they're gonna be like, all right, we gotta check out this fucking place. Boom, you're in the door. So that's I'm like doing it that way in one regard. Another way is just repetition.
Yeah.
So whether it's mentioning it over and over again, or like
And
you can go for it.
this is going to come back also to the shopkeep a little bit, I think, in the repetition part of
Oh
things,
yeah,
just because not to say it again, but they're you're going to come across them again. Um, but the players themselves, like the players will tell you which shops are important.
yeah,
The players will tell, oh, I got to go back and talk to that guy again. I got to go
yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
this crazy place again.
Yeah, big time. And sometimes it's first impressions always make a big impression,
Hmm.
obviously. We all know this already. But what I have found is sometimes it'll be tricky in a setting like Sphinx City where it's like you have this huge city, but you never leave the city and it's very diverse.
Right.
Once they find their magic shop, they might not
Hmm.
check out a ton of other magic shops. So you got to
Yeah.
kind of like pull some teeth to get them to check out another magic shop just because you're like, guys, we've been here for 2 years. Check out this other magic shop, man.
There's a bunch of them, right?
That is a thing. Um, Another thing is you can put like a MacGuffin in the shop in a way where
Yeah.
it's like they have to go to that shop one way or another, even if it's like to what's it called? What's the phrasing I'm trying to think of? Even if it's like to steal the place, steal the item or whatever it is. Like it could
Yeah.
be a villain shop like, or some
Hmm.
shit like that. Like I've done that millions of times. Making the location itself. You mentioned before about having it be a hub
Hmm.
where like underneath it there's pathways to the castle, there's secret hideaways or whatever. The in Waterdeep lore of Faerun
Yeah.
basic shit, there's the yawning portal. They have a supplement book for it and mini adventures and everything. That's a tavern. It's a
Yeah.
bar in the castle ward of Waterdeep. I know that because of dumb amount of research on Waterdeep. And underneath it, not only are there like portals, but
Hmm.
there is also ways to go to the Underdark through Mount Waterdeep, all different kinds of passageways. It's like fucking
Cool.
crazy under there. Sometimes people go down there and they never return. Like it's wild down there. It's why in our playthrough, Durnan, the
Hmm.
shopkeep of Yawning Portal, is on the board. He's like one of the
Yeah.
war council guys because he's fucking connect. He's former adventurer, of course, as you can
Hmm.
imagine. Like owns the Yawning Portal. He's like
Yeah.
connected. So he's one of the guys who's like keeping an eye on the Underdark, which is
Hmm.
why he knows that the BBG Cancer is teaming up with some very powerful drow. I think he dropped that piece of info the last time you guys all sat down. He was like, heads up, the drow are moving. The little spider fucks, dude, they're moving around, man. I don't know. uh, but you can also have that be like the shop be an important like cultural hub. You know what I mean? Like markets, certain coffee shops or stuff like that. Sometimes I don't know. I think of the like Morocco and Marrakesh, like all the those fucking that like time period where a lot of like authors would go to like Morocco or like Paris, and just like a bunch of authors like Dickinson and or not Dickinson, what's his name? Dickens? Is just Dickens? No,
Charles
who am I
Dickens.
thinking of? Charles Dickens is definitely an author. I don't think I'm thinking of him. Walt Whitman, I'm thinking of. Different like fucking just guys, and they would sit around cafes and they would just like drink
Yeah,
tea and shit.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
That kind of stuff, man. I'm just so I'm thinking about like it could be an important place to meet people and to like get
Mhm.
information at the shop. As much as
Yeah,
like you're trying to buy like an item or a service,
Hemingway,
it can
that
also be
shit.
just like an important place to have these kind of stakeout scenes or role play scenes in that way.
Mhm.
Um, Another way to make a location really important because it has what you need. And
Mhm.
sometimes it could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, you guys need armor? What's more important than the place that has armor when you need it?
Mhm.
Right? Like
Yeah. Yeah,
supply
I
and
mean that
demand, unfortunately.
ultimately is what make the thing that makes the shop important is the stuff inside the shop.
Yeah,
For the most part.
normally.
Normally, yeah.
A lot of the things we've talked about in this episode have been extra flavor, extra
Extra
ways
stuff.
to just kind of
Mhm.
come up with these shops and ways to make
Yeah.
them feel more interesting. And again, it all goes back to repetition. We said it before, we'll say it again, repetition.
Yeah.
But with all of that said, Taylor, it's that
Yeah.
time again. Time for Monster of the Week. Okay. Today we got a special one for you, gang. We got a special one for you. Gang,
The name.
I want to hear from you. Have you heard of We get listeners for the podcast from all over the world,
We do.
and we
really
love
do.
you all. But I need to know this. Apparently this is from the UK. So I need to know if this is a thing that anyone has heard of. Jimmy Squarefoot. Jimmy Squarefoot is a crazy sort of story, man. First of all, the things you need to know about Jimmy Squarefoot are as follows. Pretty much, it's just a man with a pig's head and face. But there's some other things too. He's got tusks like a boar.
Mhm.
He apparently
Wears pants?
He wears pants sometimes. Well, yeah, in the one piece of artwork he's wearing pants. Mind you, they're drawings. But like, so the thing is, there was a giant
Mhm.
whose name is forgotten to time. But this giant, he rode Jimmy when Jimmy was in pig form. Picture Babe from Paul Bunyan and Babe.
Okay.
Right? Babe and Ox, of course, but like just
Yes.
picture that kind of same vibes. Now, Paul Bunyan leaves the Ox, they separate. Ox over time can go humanoid, puts on pants. Now, instead of an ox, pig.
It's a pig. It's a pig. Okay.
Johnny Squarefoot. Now, here's the thing about this cryptids with a Z. Cryptids with a Z. Follow with me.
I'm on it.
Wiki website. All the credit must go to these fine people, because these are just like handwritten accounts from community members who are down for the cause and are doing some research at home, Googling some stuff. Because when I was reading the description of this, it made me laugh so hard, Taylor, because it's not like a straight up Wikipedia page or something, right? Like it's written in such a way that made me laugh so hard. Whether it is due to his friendly name or not, there's something engaging about Jimmy when he used to charge out at wayfarers with gleaming tusks and gnashing fangs. How he got the sobriquet of Squarefoot, I've never been able to learn. Has he despoiled some human ghost of its rightful name, or is it that his spore has been detected in the moist soil of his favorite haunts? For he seems to have an affinity with water, and though I have not tracked him to his lair with any degree of certainty, I incline to suspect a certain collection of large stones, now diminished in number and much overgrown, forming a sort of den in a field corner high above the Awin Resh, near its convergence with the Silverburn. It's just like, who's writing this? It's so fun, dude. I love this website. So it's just like very interesting. This person writes poetically and
Yeah.
also has not been able to find where this guy lives,
Mm-mm.
but they incline, I don't know who the author is, a lot of detail about where they think they might live,
Yeah.
but no evidence to suggest that. And also, this first paragraph, like I started with the description, broadly speaking,
Right.
Jimmy Squarefoot is a man with a pig's headed face.
Uh-huh.
The top part is wild because it's almost written. First of all, there's so much what almost looks like Gaelic or Celtic or Irish or something. Like I don't know. There's
Yeah.
syllables next to each other that I can't say.
It's probably
But
Welsh.
it's something, dude. Because it says Britain. When it says country, it just says Britain.
Mhm.
Number one, Britain's not a country. What are you guys doing? Number two, like there's countries and then there's the UK, which is a conglomerate of countries. It's very confusing. So it's like I don't know
Mhm.
where this is specifically from, but it goes on to say that this place has become a meeting place of many waters. A humble member of the fraternity was what? This is written so crazy. A humble member of the fraternity was the unnaturally large black cat with flaming eyes, nearly as big as saucers, which used to be seen in a field here. There was also the water monster of bovine appearance, which occasionally haunted one of the riverside meadows. The tall man without a head and the something dark like a big chest or box, which moved above the road, have been identified by one of my informants, rightly or wrongly, with a much more
Who
unusual
are
phenomenon
you,
called Jimmy
mystery
Squarefoot.
cryptid hunter?
I don't know, dude. And then also, if you go down to sort of the bottom of the page,
Uh-huh.
there's some more artwork of this guy.
Oh
One
yeah.
of them is definitely just like a children's drawing.
Mm-hmm. There's
And
somebody
then there's
did
some
one.
weird
It
artwork.
looks
There's just,
like it's in like World of Warcraft graphics, and then that's definitely like a almost a Hero Forge token or something.
yeah, for sure. There's some interesting artwork here. Yeah, for sure. So it's a pig man. It's sort of a pig man thing. And you know what's crazy is because there are pig man things in other places. The writer even goes on to say, at any rate, Jimmy is conspicuous among the many fragments of the great Manx pig legend, which needs piecing together and comparing with that of other countries. This cryptid bears a striking resemblance to the pigman of Canuck Chase. There are several lore stories around the world about pigmen. Need I remind you of the Seinfeld episode of the pigman?
I think that's it. I think that's all we can get into this time. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at So You Want to Be a DM, or you can ask us a question at So You Want to Be a DM at gmail.com. If you like the episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars and review wherever you found us. Check out the Patreon, our Twitch, and the merch with the link in the description. And join us next time for more Dungeon Master tips and tricks.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey gang, it's Justin. I have the honor of giving a shout out to the members of our Patreon gang. Nub Muffins, may Palor's light shine upon you. Marsavies, have you watered your flesh prison lately? Yazvai, the eternal library, where color and community await you. Molly Adeza, who gets yet another level up. And there's Elijah, Tappy, and Linguini. Gang, we appreciate and love you. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from So You Want to Be a DM.